Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cinematic Relief, our movie and television podcast. I'm Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
And today we are talking about Black Widow. Black Widow is, of course, a Disney Plus Premier Access film. So in order to have seen this, you either left the comfort of your house to go to a movie theater or a drive-in, or you shelled out the $30 on Disney Plus.
We shelled out the $30.
We did. In fact, I'm glad we did. We did it the way I think Disney Plus wanted
Disney
us to
intended
do it.
us to do
yeah,
it.
we spent we made one $30 purchase, and then we shared it amongst
people.
We have like 9 people who watched. That
Collectively, right?
And also, I didn't know this. I'm sure other people did. But when you buy it, you just have it. You just own it.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That makes it all the more worthwhile to me. Because that was like $30, but it's a movie in theaters, so yeah, I'll have it for 2 days, I guess.
Right.
Whatever. But yeah, that's
No,
still on my account.
Yeah.
I own, to me, we owe Kelsey money. I feel like I should pay her all of it because essentially she bought me Black Widow, and we all watched it.
Well, see, here's the thing, because purchase it or not, Black Widow is going to be available for everybody come like December or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see, and I don't think this will ever happen, but I wonder if Premier Access, you definitely bought it and you own it now, means if Disney and Marvel were to ever split and now there's no more Marvel stuff on Disney Plus, you can still watch it because you bought it.
I think we'll be long dead before a situation like that happens.
Yeah, for sure. My
great grandkids better still have my fucking Disney Plus. We're gonna get to that point, right? Where it's like,
I think your great grandkids are going to have a higher quality version of the Black Widow movie than the streaming service version on Disney Plus.
No, but I just mean like, there's got to be a situation in life where somebody's like, "Well, I'm taking over Mom's Netflix account."
Oh I'm sure they're, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
not to get weird,
is.
Not to get morbid, but I'm sure the generational Netflix accounts won't be a weird thing.
Right.
Soon.
oh.
Sorry.
Oh. So, Chris.
Yes.
How did you like the movie?
I thought it was great. I will say people, and when I say people, I mean the internet, and the internet's been known to do this. There was one comment on a review, but you know how people saw the movie before we did,
right?
Like before the release,
right?
There was one statement that I think was blown way out of proportion. They said this is the best Marvel movie ever, and I watched it, and that was a great Marvel movie. I really enjoyed Black Widow. It was not the best Marvel movie ever.
No, I wouldn't even put it in the top 10, but it was still really good.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great movie. But yeah, I didn't expect it to be the best. I saw that, and I was just like, all right, calm down. I mean,
yeah.
What happens in this film that makes it better than Endgame?
Right.
Like, what am I about to see? No, but I really did love it. It was a good movie.
I liked it a lot too.
So actiony.
Yes, it was very so this is one of the Marvel's been doing this thing lately. It doesn't really have a general name, but they've just been doing this thing where they want to branch out and try different genres that they haven't tried before. So WandaVision was sitcom, of course.
Right.
And Shang-Chi is going to be a martial arts movie. But this movie was their take on a spy thriller.
A classic spy action movie.
Yeah, and like, did watching this movie make me feel like I was watching a James Bond film? No.
Right.
But I really liked it. I forget who said this. Maybe it was even me, but I do agree with it. This movie had really big side quest energy.
Yeah.
It
was supposed to. It was her side quest.
Yeah, it was always going to. This is literally bridging the gap between Civil War and Infinity War, but only for her.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't see Captain America or Hawkeye or anybody, or Falcon. You know, you don't see any of the people she's hanging out with at the end of that movie. She doesn't even talk to them. It's just implied that she goes right from here to hang out with them. They explain, like, why her hair, why the jacket. This movie did a surprisingly not bullshit explanation for why she straight up definitely doesn't have a Russian accent.
I'm still a little lost on that.
She is Russian. Her
She is
family
Russian.
is Russian. Her parents are Russian, but
They all have
she-
accents except her.
She was because she was raised in America. Her formative years happened while they were undercover in
But
America.
that was only 3 years. You know what I mean?
But we don't know what happened before that. That could be like
Okay.
a second set of 3 years that they were in America, you know?
I see. If they had explained that, I think I'd be in the same boat you are. I think I'd be like, oh, that's a solid explanation.
It was interesting that her younger sister
Still had the Russian accent.
still had a Russian accent, but
They did go back to Russia when she was way younger than Black Widow.
right.
But your explanation makes sense. The only issue is it's speculation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
But other than that, like, this was a side quest.
yeah, literally, in its
Well,
truest form.
One, like, literally, like, a side character that you know and love is
Yep.
now the main character, and she's got a bunch of characters that you've never met before.
Yeah.
And I think you hear Hawkeye's voice for, like, a split second. He's not even in the credits.
They didn't. Something we all thought that they were going to do. They did not touch upon what happened between Black Widow and Hawkeye in Budapest.
I mean, they didn't. You're right. They, like, kind of
They
did.
hinted at
They were
something
like,
happened.
we fought at this location because he was good and I was bad or whatever. But
Yeah.
then the rest is history.
But because if that is the way you're going to take it, that they were against each other, by the end of that mission, they're together because they're in that air duct system together.
Right. Right, because she says when Budapest happened, we hung out in this air duct for like 3 days or whatever the
Yeah.
hell. So yeah, it was definitely a good guy is sent to kill bad guy, then they team up story that we never got to see.
Right.
But it's the and then they team up part that is still
A question.
a question mark. Yeah. Cause it makes sense, you know. Hawkeye's been working for S.H.I.E.L.D. since the fucking dawn of time, and Black Widow was trying to not be part of the Red Room.
Right. He is officially the only original Avenger without a movie.
Yeah.
And I know he's getting a TV show. I
But
don't
it's-
think it's going to do what these
He's
films
also-
have done for the rest of them.
He is also not going to be the main character.
No.
It's going to be Kate.
Right. So it sucks.
Yeah. I mean,
It'd be cool if his movie was Budapest. I don't think they're ever going to do that.
no, I don't think people want it.
I'd like to see it.
I don't think people wanted a Black Widow movie.
Well, I was just going to say, if
But
they don't want that, then they
it was
didn't want
good,
this. It
yeah.
was good, though.
Yeah. No, it was really good. I want to and need to and
Yes.
must talk
Okay.
about Taskmaster.
Yes.
Because big spoiler alert, huge big spoiler. Please, if you have yet to see Black Widow and would like to, please stop listening because I'm about to spoil something huge. But Taskmaster is always a dude.
Yes.
Taskmaster has never been a woman before in the comics, but she is now.
Correct.
And she was so cool.
Yeah.
She did. There was obviously trailers, right? You see her with the bow and arrow, you're like Hawkeye, and you see her with the shield, you're like, yeah, America.
Yeah.
But like, she did stuff that I like didn't realize I wanted her to do. She took out a knife, and I was like, she's gonna do the Winter Soldier thing, and then she did. She had Black Panther claws.
Yeah, those claws were crazy. You brought up a good question. Is her shit vibranium?
That's the one thing that didn't get explained about
Because
the
the
character.
shield definitely acted like it.
Yeah.
In the Black Panther claws are supposed to be made out of
Right.
vibranium, so it's interesting.
If her whole thing is that like she's a robot woman who you just program her with Avengers moves and then she has them, she's gonna know all of Captain America's moves, and those aren't gonna work without a vibranium shield.
Right.
So,
Right.
but I don't know how her shield would be vibranium.
Yeah, no, so Claw was illegally exporting vibranium.
Right.
So you could make the connection there, but I don't know if the timeline makes sense.
I don't know if the timeline makes sense, and also it feels like the Red Room is like very secretive, like even with people like that.
Yeah.
Like if they had mentioned like blah 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 Claw, blah 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 Vibranium, I might be like, oh, okay, cool. But like if Claw had no knowledge of the Red Room and was never in contact with them, I also wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, well, again, just speculation.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't an explanation. Which
but it's
fine.
no,
we don't need one.
Right.
Unless Taskmaster comes back, which seems like a possibility. There's 2 characters I'd really like to see come back, with the exception of the one we know is going to come back.
Right. The other one being Red Guardian.
The Red Guardian and Taskmaster. Because I think Red Guardian, although did shit all in this film, as far as helping out.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's still got some fight in him.
Yeah,
it would be cool to see him do something.
He seemed really cool. It was interesting that in the opening part, where they're like on the run and stuff, that he was already super soldier.
Yeah.
That was I did not expect that.
I love his fake rivalry with Captain America.
Oh yeah,
who like doesn't know he exists.
He's telling a story about how him and Captain America fought, and it just takes one dude to be like, Captain America was in the Atlantic Ocean during that story.
And not only that, but then you like later on they subtly hint at the fact that he believes his own bullshit. He's talking with Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, and he's like, so was he asked about me? It's like, why? He doesn't even know you exist.
Yeah.
Why would he talk about you? Like, in his mind, assuming he realizes the stories he has are bullshit, he's got to be like, oh, well, when he was unfrozen, obviously he looked me up and found.
Maybe, and this is, once again, speculation, but of something that will happen, not something that might have happened. Maybe if he gives enough of a shit, because if he didn't, I'd also understand. But maybe if he cares enough, Sam Wilson will do research into like, well, if there was a black one and a white one, how many other ones are there? And he finds out about Red Guardian. Red Guardian shows up in Captain America 4.
That's I'd be down for that. I wasn't even thinking that. My idea for him coming back in another film or series would be Hawkeye. What if he teams up with
Taskmaster?
No.
Yelena?
Yes, that's not her pop figure.
No,
it's
know.
On the side. Sorry. Vanya. Oh, that's
Vanya from Umbrella Academy.
Never mind. Yeah, if he teamed up with her, but I think what you said is a more realistic
it just
possibility.
Seems like we met, and who knows what fucking order these were supposed to air in, right? But we met Isaiah Bradley. I just remembered his name. People who listen to these in order, I remembered his name on my own. We met Isaiah Bradley, and we know about Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
So but not Sam Wilson. We know about Red Guardian.
Right.
So it almost seems like it's planting the seeds for off-camera Sam Wilson to be like, how many other Captain Americas can I find?
Right. That'd be cool. I'd be down. I usually have an issue with somebody who's clearly planted as the comedic relief. I just do.
He kind of
it's poorly done. I really liked him.
No, he was fun. He had Mr. Incredible's energy.
Yeah.
Where it was like, yeah, sure, he, put on a few pounds, but like he's still fucking Mr. Incredible.
Right. No, exactly. I was invested in his story.
Yeah.
And I liked him as a character. He was funny when he was supposed to be funny.
I love the part where he's trying to pour his heart out to someone, and he just keeps doing it to the wrong person.
I love the way he just didn't have an earpiece.
Right, yeah.
He's trying so hard. Props to, what's the actor's name?
David Harbour.
Oh, my God. He's good in everything I see him in.
Oh, yeah.
I have not seen Hellboy.
Hellboy was some bullshit. Hellboy sucked big old dick. Hellboy was so bad.
Well,
but I will say this of David Harbour. He does with his body what the Thing wants him to do.
Okay.
Like, he got mega jacked for Hellboy, and then cut to Black Widow and he's like portly again,
Yeah.
which is like sort of his thing in Stranger Things.
Right.
How he's like he cares but not enough to like exercise and
Right.
stuff. So props to him for like, oh, you want me to be fucking jacked? Sure, I'll be jacked. And then like a month later of filming, he's like, oh, put on a few pounds, got it.
He's just so good at making me care about him.
Yeah, he's I
in the stuff I've seen him in.
yeah, I like him a lot.
Like I was gonna be pretty bummed if Red Guardian didn't make it out of this movie.
yeah.
And what an asshole he started off as. Like, we saw his character at the beginning in the flashback.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this dude sucks. I don't
Yeah.
like him. I'm not going to like him. They can do whatever they want. I don't like him. And then he shows up again. I'm like, all right. He's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
it's an interesting dynamic to set him up as like sort of a big shithead who doesn't care about others, and he immediately the first thing he does is like mistreats the main character essentially. And then when he comes back into the production, he's a big goofball, a big lovable goofball, and he's like the comic relief, and like no one dislikes him as far as I can tell. The internet is ablaze with the fact that Taskmaster is a woman, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. It's also cool. Like Taskmaster is one of those characters that, like, if you made Captain America a girl, okay, maybe I have a few complaints. Captain America is not supposed to be a woman.
It also wouldn't make. I was just gonna go off on why that wouldn't make sense based on his backstory.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Nobody was ever doing that.
But
At least Steve Rogers, Captain America. I'm sorry. You can have a female Captain America, just can't be Steve Rogers. Doesn't make sense
Right.
with
That's
the story.
what I mean. That's what I mean.
I knew that's what you meant. I had to specify for the people.
No, we're
I'm
literally
sorry.
going to get a female Captain America in What If. It's going to be Sharon Carter.
Right.
And I'm super down for
Oh,
that.
that makes sense.
But
it's not Steve Rogers. It's not Stephanie Rogers.
There are right. There are some characters whose gender and, if I may, race you can't change, or it changes a lot about their character.
We also have a video essay about that.
We do. Well, you do. It's very good. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
I edited it, but
you
know,
did.
I didn't write any of it.
It's on our channel. It's our video.
But
we both put work into it. But there's somewhere it doesn't matter, like
there's
Taskmaster.
somewhere it doesn't matter where, like Taskmaster and Nick Fury. They could have done
Right.
white Nick Fury, but they didn't. They want to do black Nick Fury.
They're also changing his story anyways, because if this was Nick Fury from the comics, he's gonna be like 80 years old.
Right.
At this point, and he's just not.
Nick Fury's like a World War I vet?
No, World War II.
Okay.
But still, I mean, if he was of age, he'd be Steve Rogers' age.
Right.
He'd be an old fucking man.
Yeah, like 80 or 90. Yeah.
So clearly, it's a different.
Right.
It's a different Nick Fury that they're going for.
Right. No, I liked it. I liked sometimes Marvel's been good about it recently. I'd say since, and not because of this movie, but I'd say around since Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
They've been good about this, but in the past I feel like Ant-Man was a big deterrent of this for me. But I feel like Marvel's like, whenever Marvel has a movie that's not supposed to be funny and then there's a joke, it's sort of like, oh, okay. But I feel like they've been doing really good about that recently, and this movie in particular, there was a lot of moments where I was supposed to laugh, and I did in fact laugh.
Yeah, no, they've found the balance, and
Yes.
you can definitely see it over the years. They've found the right energy. They found what works.
Basically, Ant-Man was the wrong energy. Guardians of the Galaxy was the right energy. You know?
Yeah, I would even take a step further where Thor 1 was the wrong energy.
Thor 1,
there'd be jokes, and I'm like, it's not funny. That's not the movie I'm here for.
Look,
the only
you looked sick just now. You looked like you were gonna vomit. you gave me a look like I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh at this, man. I don't know.
The only joke that landed was him throwing the cup.
Yeah.
And even then you're like, fuck Thor, don't do it.
Yeah, even then you're a little like, everyone's mad at him now.
Like, it's just cool to see that they've finally gotten, because this movie could have easily been like that, where it's like, this is too serious. What the fuck is Red Guardian on about? This is too serious. But like, it didn't come off that way.
No, it didn't. Like you said, I think it was a good balance. I think it was a good movie. I fear I'm not going to have much to say about it because of the side quest nature of it. I'm down for a side quest here or there, and I feel like as far as side quests go, in the Marvel universe, I feel like we've had 2, and they're Black Widow and WandaVision.
Yeah.
And I feel like Loki's could technically be a side quest, but it's almost unfair to call it that because it's the first time we've met a different version of one character.
Right. I would say it's the pinnacle of side quests for this universe. It's
Black Widow.
No, Loki.
Just
because a lot of important shit is coming to a head.
Right. If it were to be classified as a side quest, it's definitely the most important one.
Right.
In terms of what it means for the rest of the MCU. That's the other thing about this movie. Doesn't matter if you were gonna.
Oh, none of it matters. We know she's dead.
Right. And if you were gonna marathon all of them, and you were like, well, 24 movies is far too many. I've got to cut a few. Cut this one for sure.
Yeah.
It was really good, but like, feel free to cut it, especially because you'd have to put it in between, and then you're waiting now in between Civil War and Infinity War, you have Black Panther and Ant-Man and not Ant-Man and Guardians 2 and now this and
then Thor.
And Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, it's just it's a big hold your breath in between Civil War and Infinity War.
Yeah.
But I still like it. I thought
that
it was
is
a good movie.
That was the point where when I was showing my grandparents all the MCU, it was like, all right, we're going to take a big break from the Avengers.
Right. No, there's a lull. There's a lull because people forget, myself included, that Captain America Civil War is not an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
It just happens to have most of them in it.
Right.
It's where the Civil War, hilariously enough, before WandaVision, is where most of Wanda and Vision's story is told.
Yeah.
And it's like in between 3 scenes like that take place like for 3 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
It's a very weird movie. It's a very interesting way to do Marvel Civil War in the MCU, and I like what they did with it for the most part. But there's a big pause. There's a big like, all right, you're coming down from that, and you kind of just come down infinitely until you get to Infinity War, and you're like, oh, okay, we're back.
Right. No, you bring up a good point. I will say though, I think as far as Black Widow's concerned, I honestly, even the shows too, it's kind of becoming a Star Wars situation, except more important. Because if I'm showing somebody the Star Wars movies, I show them the prequels, the trilogy, the sequels.
Yeah.
And then once we get to episode 2, I say, well, listen, there's a really cool cartoon TV. Oh, you don't want to watch it? Oh, okay.
Right.
You don't have to watch it. But then I fear 5-6 years from now in the MCU, it's like, okay,
there's 40 movies.
Well, there's 40.
And there's
40
TV
movies.
Shows.
Also, if you didn't watch WandaVision, you're fucked for what's gonna come for Vision.
That's the thing.
Maybe that's why there's only 6 episodes, because they know it's gonna be an important part of the story they're telling, and if they want to get new fans, and these shows are vital to the overarching story they're telling,
because you have to assume they are at this point. Yeah. Well,
they haven't yet.
You bring up a good point, but WandaVision, whoops, it's 9 episodes.
Oh, well.
It's the same amount of footage, but they broke it up weird because they wanted to do their weird sitcom
same
thing.
difference.
No,
you know
I know.
I mean.
It's just I know. I see what you're saying. They made these shows shorter so they are consumable from a binging the entire series perspective.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of people who, for some fucking reason, watched WandaVision and that was the first MCU thing they saw.
I feel. Do we know somebody personally like that? You don't have to. You don't have to call them out. Okay.
We do not.
Because I have heard of that.
But
and
I've seen a couple.
What the fuck are you doing?
Right. Yeah. There's this big meme where when MGS5 came out, it looked really good, and it was the last Kojima Metal Gear game. And there was this meme of this person on Reddit who was like, hey, I really want to play Phantom Pain. Do I have to play any of the others before that? And someone was just like, well, you should play 1 and 2, and then there's this side game that you need to play. Oh, and then you should play 4 before you play 3. And it's just like, yeah, you should play the whole fucking series. Don't play 5 if you're not going to play the rest of it.
Right.
He said, having done that himself.
There's... And I get it. Like... I mean, to pull the curtain back a bit, you introduced me to the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I did not watch the MCU is I knew they started getting out of order. And I was like, it's too confusing, it's too much, I'm not into it. You showed me the order, we sat down and watched them.
Yeah.
Possibly, I'm into it more than Star Wars at this point, which is...
Interesting.
Which is...
saying a lot.
A whole other platform of... pop culture that I enjoy.
Right. Well, I mean, Star Wars had a big dismount recently that they totally fucked.
Star Wars, as far as the toxic fandom is concerned, Star Wars has had a big dismount since 1978.
Oh. Well, no, I just mean
after the first one.
When I say dismount, I mean like they just ended a trilogy and they did it pretty badly.
No,
so,
I know,
but Marvel, I feel like even though you did not enjoy WandaVision, I feel like Marvel is still going strong.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's definitely not been a dip. There's actually been a rise in quality.
Yeah,
with stuff.
I can't. What's the last Marvel movie I really disliked? I think it was Thor 2, honestly. I think it's that far back.
Yeah.
Because I have, I have my complaints about Black Panther, but I still think it's a great movie.
I just don't want to get too deep. I was actually going somewhere.
Sorry,
before
keep
I forget. Oh shit.
Oh no, and then he did. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
You're talking about Star Wars.
Star Wars actually had nothing to do with. Oh yeah, so
you were saying,
I get it. You gotta find a notch that's like. With my parents, I showed my parents the MCU.
Right.
You showed me, I showed my parents, I showed my grandparents.
Yeah.
With my parents, it was a hard sell.
Right.
Because I was like, oh, you guys want to watch this? And my dad was like, I'll watch Iron Man, because that was a big movie. And I was like, yeah, there's been a lot more since then, though. So I was like, how's about this? Let me show you guys a movie called Infinity War. And I know that's a big spoiler. They wouldn't fucking remember by the time we got back to it. But Infinity War ended, and I was like, you guys want to try and watch from the beginning, see if you're into it? And they did, and they loved it. So I get it. You got to find a hook. Like
that's an interesting one, because that movie has a lot of characters that does not take the time to explain.
No, and I wouldn't do that for anybody else, but I knew that would hook them.
Infinity War was the first one where Marvel was like, hey, fucking watch all the other ones first, please.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like, because my dad loved Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was it.
Yeah.
That was the only Marvel
and
movie
that
he
one,
was super into.
That one's different. Like it's a James Gunn ass movie,
right.
you know, and it's not. It doesn't have the same feel. Plus, it has nothing to do up until Infinity War.
Right.
Has absolutely nothing to do with
why
any of the rest of it.
Exactly. And I was like, because he had seen 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what if I told you there's a third movie with the Guardians of the Galaxies in it? And I got him. And then they watched, and they love MCU now. But I get it. If somebody's like, all right, WandaVision looks interesting. I think this is going to be my plunge into the MCU, but hold the phone. Don't fucking start with WandaVision. That's the most un-MCU thing that there's been so far.
Right.
Like, that's the most experimental thing they've made.
Well, yeah,
more than Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've seen a couple posts where people were like, I like superheroes well enough, but I've never seen an MCU thing, but I was a huge sitcom fan, so I tuned into WandaVision, and I really liked it.
Good. You'll never see anything like that again in the MCU.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if people are watching WandaVision and then they do what I did with my parents, and they're like, all right, well, let's dive into it. Good for them. I do not. There's such a disconnect to me.
If you watched WandaVision as your first thing, and then you were like, I'm going to start at the beginning. What does it start with? Oh, Iron Man from 2008? You're going to... That's weird. That's a weird one to go to.
That's what I'm saying. I
feel
like
Iron Man is great, but like start with it, right? If you go from WandaVision to Iron Man, you're going to hate Iron Man or WandaVision. You're going to hate one of them.
Right. Well, that's my thing is like, I can't see it possibly working where that's somebody's hook for the MCU.
Right.
I don't see it working, but none of this has to do with my main gal, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. Who, as we all know, played Black Widow.
Yes. It was a great movie. There were a couple of unnecessary butt shots, but that's fine.
Which was interesting because this movie was directed by a female.
Yeah.
Usually, that's a big complaint in the most relevant one, Joss Whedon. It was like as the story goes, Zack Snyder was making a movie. His son passed away. He had to step down. Joss Whedon starts to make a movie, and now there's like 3 shots that take place like right up Wonder Woman's ass.
Right. See, in those moments too, because I'm sure the Wonder Woman one, it's like very sexual.
The Wonder Woman one is egregious because she is. There's literally a scene where Bruce Wayne is working on a plane. He's like repairing a plane or whatever. So he's up on a ladder and she is standing on the ground looking up at him. And we, the camera, are right below her ass. So we can see the entirety of her from the ass up, and we can see him in the foreground. In the background working on the plane. But it's clear that the cinematographer wanted you to stare right at her booty.
See, I was gonna say the ones in Black Widow weren't as abrasive.
No, there was just some, I remember specifically there was one where she was just, getting into a car, and it was like, you could have put the camera somewhere else.
I wonder, though, if it was... she's just so good-looking that, that's the way we're perceiving this scene, but in actuality, if you put any other person in that scene, you don't even think about it.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't know. But I did notice that, too. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, not to say I didn't notice it and it was unnecessary. They could have shown this lovely actress's face.
Yeah. Or just a wide shot of the car. Yeah, it was an interesting...
interesting choice of shot.
But I knew going into this that it was directed by a woman, so I was even more like, I wonder, who isn't responsible for this?
They even make fun of, the sexy poses they make Scarlett Johansson do.
Yeah. That's the best part of the film, in my opinion. I want to talk about the after the credits scene that I theorize was not filmed back in the day when they were filming Black Widow.
I also don't think it was the only one planned for this movie. I'm sure there was a second one for WandaVision or some shit that would have happened, but we've already seen WandaVision.
So far, in Phase 4, there's been no after the credits scene that has teased a different property. Captain Marvel, the after the credits scene is of Endgame, or Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, the after the credits scene is of Civil War. The WandaVision after the credits scene was about Wanda.
Yeah.
The Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier end credit scene was about Sharon Carter, and if she's in another thing, who knows? But it was a very in the family thing. Loki didn't have one. Spoiler alert. And And the Black Widow one was about Black Widow characters. It seems like it's going to tie into the Hawkeye TV show,
right?
But we haven't had a completely disjointed one yet, where it's like we're watching Shang-Chi and it's like, it's Guardians 3. That's what
Well, I wonder if it's because everybody is standing on their own legs at this point.
Yeah, we're all kind of doing our own thing right now. Endgame was a really big everyone is here. Everyone is together, and now we're sort of that's why I think the TV shows came at a good point, because we just had the big the gang's all here. Literally every character you could ever want is here, except the Netflix Marvel shows. Haha, get fucked. And the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But literally no one gives a shit about them, not even me anymore. And now we're here's what they're doing. Here's what they're doing.
And everybody's, because of those films, everybody from those are famous enough.
Right.
I don't need everybody to get pumped for Guardians 3 in my Black Widow movie, because everybody's going to go see.
Right.
However, Shang-Chi and the Eternals, they could get a spot in a more popular movie to be hey, come see.
Right, yeah. But I don't think they're going to, because I think Shang-Chi is next, and then Eternals, and then Spider-Man.
Right. So which is interesting, because my point was everybody's famous enough at this point where they don't need to step over other people's movies to get people to watch theirs.
That's why WandaVision wasn't an origin story. It was a... Well, I guess it kind of was, but you know what I mean.
Right. But that's not true, because there's definitely 2 new IPs coming out.
At least 2.
That could definitely... I'm not saying people aren't going to go see the films, but could definitely use a, hey, guys, boost the movie.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because anything, I know we have trailers, but, it'd be nice if I had a little Shang-Chi after the credits teaser to be ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, man, it's going to happen.
This one appeared to be teasing the Hawkeye TV show because of all the fucking characters to show up. Madam Hydra from Captain Falcon Captain Falcon. Fuck, I did it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She shows up and visits Black Widow's grave that Yelena, her sister, is visiting.
Also,
so
just totally disrespecting it.
Well, yeah. So already the scene takes place in 2024 or whatever, and not 2016 when Civil War happened. And then she's basically here's the guy who killed her, and she shows her a picture of Hawkeye, which, first of all, how the fuck does she know that?
Right.
It could not possibly be public knowledge that Hawkeye had to murder Black Widow, which he didn't. But like,
No.
there's no way that the public knows about Thanos and what the Avengers did for them, and why Captain America's not around, and why Tony Stark's not around anymore.
I mean,
but like,
unless Hawkeye came out to the public and was like, "Here's what happened."
But then you feel like she would already know, right?
But
because
people could be like, "You're lying. You threw her over or something."
Right. I'm just saying, like, it really seemed like Madame Hydra was like, I'm the only person who's going to contact you who knows about this. Here it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was interesting. I have a feeling.
That's a good point.
I have a feeling that if she does show up in the Hawkeye show, she's going to be a side plot and not the main plot. Which I don't know how I feel about that. Assuming that Hawkeye's only going to be 6 episodes, I assume at this point they've all been 6 episodes. So I don't know. It was very interesting, but it was definitely not filmed back then. I don't even think by the time Black Widow wrapped for filming, I have a feeling that Julia Louis-Dreyfus was not even talked to once about playing Madame Hydra.
Yeah, because that would have been the long con. Because
yeah.
So far, what she's most known for is Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
right?
And that would have been a long ways away.
Right, at least a year, I think.
You know what, though? Actually, hold the phone. Maybe it did happen because you see that scene in Black Widow. Let's say we haven't seen the other 2 shows at this point.
Right.
And you're like, what the fuck was that? Who was that?
True. I guess Madame Hydra's reveal would be as random as it was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because there was definitely a like, oh my god, that's Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Wait, she's playing Madame Hydra. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I guess we could still have that. You're right. That scene could have happened. I doubt it did, though. I have a feeling that Black Widow's after the credits scene teased WandaVision or Loki or something.
Yeah.
But it seems like for better or for worse, they've managed to keep all the after the credits scenes like within the show or movie that they follow.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I've got some news that I just saw before we started recording these podcasts.
Oh. Interesting.
I'm trying to get a good picture. Hold on. Everybody just shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe that was the best picture. I'm going back to it.
Okay.
This dude was in Black Widow.
Okay.
Right, that was my response. I guess they're low-key saying, hey, ladies and gentlemen, here's the first mutant of the MCU. I guess this guy was low-key a character that becomes Urus Major. URAS. It's like
Ursa,
yeah. Or URSA.
So there was a fucking X-Men in Black Widow and no one noticed?
That's what I was just reading before we started.
Where was he in the jail?
I don't remember at all where this dude was in this movie. I think he's the dude whose arm got broken in the jail when they were doing the arm wrestling.
Okay.
But beyond that,
wait,
I have
is
no
this
idea.
Blade Arm dude from Shang-Chi?
No. This dude, no blade. Where'd you get the blade from?
No, I mean, that guy looks like... There's a guy in the Shang-Chi trailer who has a blade arm.
Oh,
and we
maybe.
just
I
saw
don't know.
that character get his arm fucked up in Black Widow, is what I'm saying.
His deal is he turns into a bear.
Oh, just kidding. What I said. Just kidding. Never mind.
Yeah, this dude's whole thing is...
Wow, I love that they were
guy.
like, here's the first X-Men, and it's a bullshit nobody that no one's heard of.
Yeah.
Me, the biggest X-Men in the room, X-Men fan in the room. No, I'm an X-Men. The biggest X-Men fan in a room. I'm like, Ursa who? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, so maybe I mean I
don't
didn't
know.
Here's the thing: I only saw one report of that, and to me, that's not enough to be conclusive. So I am gonna look more into it. I wanted to mention it because, like, how crazy would that be?
That would be crazy. Such a weird one. Like an unrecognizable, and it's just a
Also,
dude.
in the background, didn't mention him
Right.
at all.
That's kind of that kind of gives me like this one character in our thing was gay, but they didn't say anything gay or do anything gay
Right.
vibes. Real quick before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask you, what did you think of the ending? What did you think of the part where he was like, "My pheromones, you can't hurt me"? Because I that's the other thing that the internet is like, that was stupid. It seemed. Here's the thing. It seemed just as ham-fisted as any old James Bond villain trope thing.
Yeah.
James Bond, I feel like, has had a couple of villains where it's like, this is the reason that this is happening, and you're like, it's kind of silly.
I thought it was an interesting way to make this guy not die instantly. When I was watching that scene, and they kind of said it in the movie, where it's like, well, now he's dead, right? Like, what's stopping her from killing him?
Right. There's so many movies where a scene like that is happening, and you're like, one of you kill the other one. You're just talking. Why are you doing this?
What fucked me up was, and I said it when we were watching the movie, like, he's like, "Oh, my pheromones, you can't kill me," and I was like, "Okay, so step away from him, shoot him from the other room or something."
Instead she permanently
fucks up her nose.
She permanently fucked up her nasal passage.
And like, not that it matters for stories or anything, but like, if I go back and I watch Endgame and she's like, "Oh, coffee" or something, I'm gonna be like, "No, you, did it heal? What happened?"
Maybe that's why she didn't want the peanut butter and jelly sandwich she made for herself, because she can't smell it, so her taste receptors are all off.
Was it intentional? Also, was that all it takes?
Yeah. It
Is
seemed
you just
like
slam your head.
It was brutal for sure, but it seemed like a pretty easy solution that this guy didn't think of. Also, step few feet back.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
Take out a gun. Yeah.
I was like, and like, let's say his essence is all over that room. Just fucking okay. So you go somewhere else. like, oh darn, let me. I don't know. Like, that's not the be all end all. Like, somebody can assassinate this dude who's a widow.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. What's her sister's name?
Yelena?
Yeah,
I made specific notice of it because I thought it was interesting that it was the name Helena, but with a Y instead of an H.
I would have just been like, Yelena, take him out from far away.
Yeah.
And then you just sit there and like defend yourself.
Right.
That's really what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was like, oh, well, I'm fucked till I either get away from you or somebody steps in to help out. And now this is just a fight that I can't be on the offensive, which in my mind would have been a lot cooler than just head palm, like just smash against the desk. I also could have done without the blood through the nose.
This was
a very gruesome one.
There was a couple things in this movie like that. There's a couple gross things in this movie.
Yeah.
Where it was like, I didn't have
a lot of bone stuff.
You didn't have to linger on that shot for a bit. And maybe that's just part of the whole, like, we wanted to try something new. Because I assume this movie was rated PG-13.
Right.
Because it was just as action-oriented as all the other ones, and there was no swearing. I could have done... It was very... It was a little more... I don't want to use the word gory, but I will just for the sake of finding a better one. It was a bit more gory than most MCU movies.
I would say gritty. It was a bit more gritty.
It was just like I understand that you fucked up that woman's leg, but does the camera have to be focused on it for like that much, like that many more seconds?
Honestly, the grossest thing to me was that fucking nose thing. I did not like looking at that.
Well, that they showed the whole thing, and it was like
it took her forever to wipe off. That whole fight happened, and she still had blood on it. My OCD was kicking in.
I didn't even notice.
Oh yeah, I was like, it's still there. She hasn't wiped it. First thing I would do is wipe that off, if that was me. Like what? It would take 2 seconds. This guy isn't going to escape.
Right.
Actually, 1.1. It'd take 0.5 seconds.
He's doing it over and over again.
0.5 seconds. Wipe your nose and then shoot him. That's all it would take.
Yeah.
I've been talking to you this whole time. I'm getting at least 3 words in. I'm sorry. I'm not even getting a word in by the time I'm done doing it. I just did it like 50 times.
He's just doing it over and over again.
So easy to do.
It's great. No, that was great. I will address.
That was great. Me.
Yeah.
My little show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're great.
Oh, thank you.
I do want to quickly, before we wrap up, address the very tiny elephant in the room that is someone a while back said that RDJ was going to be in this movie, and then he definitely was not.
Mention it. I actually looked into that. I guess
Me too.
Early rough draft. Flashback scene.
It was just a rumor, and people ran, and one news guy ran with it, and then everyone was like, RDJ actually, like, recently, like the day the movie came out, was like, yeah, I was never going to be in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably, his words were like, was never going to be in that movie. I think it was probably like the first draft of this movie had me in it a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I feel like it got to a point in the movie, because I remembered that little factoid, and I got to a point in the movie, and I was like, it's going to be weird if he shows up now. Like, if the finale was like, and then Iron Man shows up and saves the day, I was going to be bullshit, because I'm like, not only did the main character not solve the problem, but now we have a white man, solving a woman's problems. Like, I didn't need that, and I'm glad they didn't do it. There was just a point in the movie where I was like, this is the finale. Iron Man's not going to be in this film. Maybe he'll be in the after the credits scene, then he wasn't. I was like, all right, I'm going to look it up.
I can't wait for the 40 elephants in the room with the next Spider-Man movie.
There's Spider-Man's getting a trailer soon, right? You can only hope.
I don't know.
There should already be one, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because isn't it like September, November, December? Isn't it like Shang-Chi, Eternals, and then Spider-Man? Then they're still all coming out this year? Yeah, then there should definitely be. It's July, and the movie's coming out Christmas. It should definitely be a trailer already. I don't know. I'm excited for Spider-Man. I am cautiously, like, I know there's been a lot of rumors. I know we all have the fake posters that people are making of, like, look at all the characters that are supposed to be in it. I'm keeping an open mind. If it's not this crazy multiverse adventure that rumors are promising it to be, I'm not going to be disappointed. But I am still excited for it.
Can I now since we're just talking about other films and when they come out and stuff, I recently was looking up an order of what's coming out next. Actually, right after we finished Loki, yesterday.
Okay.
I was looking up an order of what comes out next.
Yeah, lay it on me.
I stumbled upon a little gem that I think they're sneaking in there that nobody's talking about.
Yeah.
Holiday of 2022. Can you picture what's coming out then?
Holiday of 2022 will probably be Thor: Love and Thunder time.
The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Yeah.
Okay, you knew about this? I didn't know about that.
I only knew about it when I heard a news story said filming has wrapped. So I think they filmed, filming started, I believe. Something happened. They were right.
They're doing something.
James Gunn has a lot on his fucking plate right now.
Yeah.
He's making the Suicide Squad, and then he's making the Guardians Christmas special, and then he's making Guardians 3, right?
Which means we're never getting Brightburn 2.
No, but if this is what he's doing instead of that, then I'm cool with that. Brightburn 2 would be cool though. No, I did know about this. It was one of those things where the announcement wasn't, it's happening. The announcement was like, something about it is happening. I was like, I didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's going to be a straight to Disney Plus, not Premiere Access, half-hour, silly little.
I'm gonna love it.
I can only assume they're going to, in some regard, make fun of the Star Wars holiday special.
I hope so.
They
can. It's fair game.
Literally. Like, they could do whatever the fuck they want. Like, Chewbacca could be in this movie for all I give a shit.
Okay. It could easily happen. That's too much of a crossover. But that's too much for me.
But if it's like tongue-in-cheekingly non-canon,
then I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited for it.
I'd be heavy breathing. Not in a good way. If it was like, oh, here's the Star Wars is part of the MCU, I'd be like, oh no, oh god, it's happened.
Yeah,
it's not a drill.
Yeah, no, I did know about that. They said though that they specifically said WandaVision, Doctor Strange 2, and Spider-Man 3 are part of the same trilogy. I don't know why Loki wasn't talked about in the same breath, because clearly WandaVision planted the seeds of multiverse bullshit happening, and Loki said, haha, idiot, surprise, it's a multiverse now. So I don't know what they mean about that, but,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm excited.
If they're talking about connecting all the movies that involve, I mean, maybe Loki's doing his own thing with multiverse shit. Maybe WandaVision, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man are all connected. Like, Loki's doing multiverse shit, but maybe it has absolutely nothing to do with the multiverse stuff that they're doing. That's a good point.
Maybe by trilogy they mean Wanda's going to be in Multiverse of Madness and Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man or something like that. I'm down for that. I just want... It seems like, based off the Loki finale that we talked about in last time's episode, it seems like multiverse stuff is going to be cool. I just sort of got to wait for it to happen first.
Can we talk about how, assuming the other Spider-Man movies even get mentioned in Spider-Man 3, that J. Jonah Jameson was actually the first variant we've seen in the MCU?
Yeah.
How nuts is that before any of this even gets mentioned?
Right. Our quote unquote J. Jonah Jameson that we see at the end of Far From Home is a variant of the original one from the Sam Raimi universe.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because why not, right? You could do the dumb movie thing of like, oh, it's just the same dude. But like, if you're going to go so hard into the multiverse, then like...
By proxy, even if they don't mention it, I mean, by proxy, he's a variant.
Right, even if he doesn't show up again, which I think he will. But like, even if he doesn't show up again at all, like,
he was there. That's what he was.
That's what I'm waiting for. And I know we're not ready for it yet. I know the Loki finale was never going to do this, but I'm waiting for like the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earth style. Like, remember that old shitty Avengers TV show? That's canon too. Fuck you.
Oh yeah.
Where it's just like every shitty Hulk movie they made and the TV show starring Bill Bixby, those are all canon, baby. It's all canon. It's a multiverse. Your mom is canon.
Yeah.
And I'm there for it. I'm excited.
But is Jay and Silent Bob gonna be part of this canon? Because they were part of the DC canon.
They were. You're right. They were. I have a feeling they won't be, but who knows?
Well, time out. Everybody calm down.
Okay.
Stan Lee and Captain Marvel already canonized Mallrats.
True.
In the MCU.
True. Hang on. I wasn't with you. Now I'm with you.
And Kevin Smith was bawling over it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, that's sad. Kevin Smith was bawling over it because that's his friend who recently died.
Oh yeah.
And he's promoting Kevin Smith's thing. Oh,
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Kevin Smith. So you just wait. Oh my God! By proxy, Jay and Silent Bob are in Mallrats. They were already canonized.
The fictional characters, Jay and Silent Bob, are canon in the MCU.
Now we need a universe where it actually happened.
The problem with that is that isn't there a superhero called Blunt Man?
Yes, in Chronic.
I don't think fuck. Oh my God! Isn't Chronic played by Melissa Benoist, the woman who plays Supergirl?
No, they're both in Kevin Smith universe.
Right.
Canon.
Yeah.
The rights to one of the characters from one of the movies makes a comic book based on his friends Jay and Silent Bob, or the kids he knows Jay and Silent Bob. That gets sold to I think Universal, like a real studio.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually it's the one that's super serious. They make like the sad movies and stuff. Like they wouldn't make this, but it's like, oh, they made this. It gets sold to them, and then there's two famous male actors playing. One's Vanderbeek He's playing.
Oh.
He is Jason Mewes as Blunt Man.
Got it.
I mean, or Chronic. I forget which one they are.
Yeah.
No, he's Chronic.
Okay.
Jay Mewes is Chronic.
Okay.
And then the other actor from American Pie, the main kid.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Kid who.
Yes.
He even in that movie, he's like, "I'm the dude who has sex with the pie." He's like getting arrested, and he's like, "No,
Yeah.
you know who I am."
Yeah, I forget his name, but yeah.
He plays Blunt Man.
Got it. So what is Melissa Benoist doing?
I cannot picture for the life of me who that is.
She's a blonde woman, and she plays Supergirl, and I thought she was in Jay and Silent Bob
Can I look
reboot,
her up real
and I'm
quick?
pretty sure I saw her in like a superhero costume. Yeah, go for
Say
it.
the name one more time.
Melissa Benoist. What was I saying? Oh, what I was trying to get at is I don't think that the MCU, I don't think that Disney would allow a character called Blunt Man to officially show up in any capacity.
Yeah, no.
They don't have to say his
you
name.
said
but
it,
then
any capacity.
They don't have to say his name, but then I do some research and I'm a 10-year-old kid and I'm
Right.
like, I
No,
want to
you're
watch
right.
this movie now that definitely has nudity in it.
I don't recall her from the original movies. In the reboot, I only saw once.
Yeah, she was in that one.
I don't remember. She could have been. I do not. I don't even think so. Blunt Man and Chronic are from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which is not the title of the reboot. That's their own movie. Like
Right.
they've been side characters in every movie. This is their movie. That's the one where Blunt Man and Chronic are brought up in. I don't know if they even make a return in Oh no.
There's a movie, I
shit.
thought. Don't they make a movie out
Yes,
of it
so-
in the movie?
Okay, hold on. Ready for this?
Yeah, I am.
Ready for this Kevin Smith shit?
I am ready for this Kevin Smith shit. Sorry, not to correct you. It literally says Melissa Benoist plays Chronic in Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Listen. I totally forgot about this plot point in that movie. In the whole point of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, the movie made in the early 2000s,
Right.
is that they are trying to stop a Hollywood production of Blunt Man and Chronic that they are not getting money for.
Okay.
In the reboot, they are literally Hollywood in this canon is rebooting the series Blunt Man and Chronic, and they're women in this one.
Okay.
So that's what it was. So in my I completely forgot that that's what happened. To me, Blunt Man and Chronic are those two actors I mentioned. I forgot that they were
Right.
remaking that movie.
Jason Biggs and James Vanderbeek.
Yes. I'm sorry. You were apparently correct.
I was like, is it Chronic played by Melissa Benoist? And you were like, no. And then you talked for like 10 whole minutes, and I just looked it up. I was like, yes, actually.
No, I mean, technically you're correct. I have only seen that movie once. I forgot that was even a plot in that movie.
Yeah. I have never seen it. I've never seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I did watch Mallrats and Dogma. I just assumed that the whole fucking movie was about this fake movie thing because I haven't seen it yet, and it's called Reboot. I'll watch them eventually, I'm sure. Has the humor matured as I have? Okay.
Reboot is definitely not one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies.
Okay, that's fair.
However,
I feel
you
like
also haven't seen, like, you saw Mallrats, which is great. Dogma was
I remember liking Dogma more than Mallrats.
Really?
For a hot second there, I was watching them in order. I watched Clerks and
So
Mallrats.
you've seen Clerks.
I've seen Clerks and Mallrats and Dogma, and that's it.
Clerks 2 is really
Did
good.
I miss one
Clerks.
in going in order?
Oh, no, I think you got them.
Yeah, I watched those, and I think the next one was called. I don't remember. Who cares? No one cares.
Okay.
I don't remember.
This is definitely removed from Scarlett Johansson.
Yes, and with that, we will be calling it a day. We didn't do Roger Ebert, but we talked about.
No, he doesn't
some,
deserve to be in either of these last two cinematic reliefs.
I mean, it's just getting hard to look up what he pick a random superhero
Right.
movie that he may have watched.
I think the next movie we're gonna do
probably,
we'll probably have an Ebert review for it.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of, because there's so many goddamn movies that have come out recently, I feel like we had such a dry spell,
Yeah,
and now we're just movie
we had
after
a lull.
movie. Last episode, if you missed it, it was Loki. Go check it out. We both really liked it. And we give our ranking of the 3 Disney Plus shows. Next episode is going to be Space Jam: A New Legacy, which is on HBO Max. It's the long coming sequel, but like sort of spin-off-ish.
I remember when
Space
this was
Jam.
a rumor. I remember
This
like
was a rumor.
6 years ago. I was like, they're never gonna make that.
LeBron James made if I remember correctly, my American history, LeBron James made a movie production company so he could make this movie, and then it fell through, and he made like 2 other movies. Now it's a real thing.
Wow.
So I don't know. But yeah, tune into that to see what we thought of that. We're actually haven't watched it yet. We're about to
Will
right
it
now.
suck?
Will it suck?
Probably.
But I'm sitting here hoping it doesn't.
It'd be cool if it didn't.
It would be really cool if it didn't. Sorry, no, everybody stop. Give me a rating out of 5 for Black Widow, because you always do this.
Fuck. Oh my God, we gotta.
You can finally give your rating for Black Widow.
We haven't done this in so long, and the shows didn't count, right?
Right,
or
right.
did they? You have all of them, right, on your
Yeah.
phone still? Please, yes.
Yeah.
Send that to me, so like,
Okay.
so we never. This will never be lost. Send it to me over Messenger. Not that it matters.
Okay.
Black Widow. I'm gonna give Black Widow a 4.
Interesting. I can't find. Hold on, give me a second. It's somewhere in there. It's definitely somewhere in there. I'm not seeing it. Oh no.
Oh, Anthony.
He's talking about things, and he's looking through his notes, and he's not seeing it.
Oh, Anthony.
And what would it be called? And there's so many Marvel things in his notes. He's such a big nerd. Just make the goddamn video
Because
essays.
I think you did send it to me a long time ago.
Oh, so many drafts.
Okay,
Just-
I do have the.
Oh, I just found it. Fuck you. Okay, you give Black Widow a 4 out of 5. It looks like we were doing it for the TV shows, because you gave WandaVision a 3 out of 5. What do you give Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
3.5.
Really?
Yeah,
And then what about Loki, just to round it off?
3.5.
Interesting.
You know what?
Yeah.
3.4.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, no one said that's not allowed. Cool. So Black Widow got a 4. Just for reference, Age of Ultron got a 4. Captain America: The First Avenger got a 4. Iron Man 3, Guardians of the Galaxy, Civil War, Homecoming,
Are these all ones that got a 4?
all got a 4.5.
Oh.
Yeah. And Thor: Dark World got a NA because you didn't give it 1.
Oh, we didn't watch it.
Right. Correct. But you've seen it, right?
I
You
think
watched
so.
with your It's not good. Thank you for watching. For real this time. This is the end of the podcast. Thank you for listening. Until next time, I've been Thunder,
I'm Lightning.
and we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening and watching. And if you like what you see, please be sure to subscribe.
Our channel is daily uploads from podcasts to video essays, let's plays to skits.
Be sure to find us on Twitch and Patreon.
Our theme song is Sunny Day by Froggy and the Friendship, and our Let's Play intro is Sunny Bit by the same band.
Link to all these in the description below. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.